Hello, and thank you for writing this new set of essays for us. Let's see what you have done. Okay, so you've got your task 1 and your task 2. Let's see what you did here. The first one is the letter to Albion University. Let's see what you wrote. Dear Albion University Examinations Committee, I'm writing this letter to express my sincere apologies, plural, for not being able to attend the history exam on October 20th. My name is Mohammed Sherbash. I am a fourth-year student in the College of Arts with a student number this and a case number this. Although I had prepared diligently for the exam, I woke up on exam day with a severe sore throat and myalgia. There's no A there, actually, okay? Not only was I not able to move from bed, but also I had no one to assist me as I live alone in a studio apartment near the campus. The next day, after taking some painkillers, my friend drove me off to the hospital where I was diagnosed with H1N1 influenza. I was discharged later that day with a medical report describing my clinical status. I understand how crucial that exam was and therefore kindly request that my exam would be possibly rescheduled to a later date. Meanwhile, I submit my medical report to the dean's office as proof for my absence due to the severe acute medical condition. I truly hope the respected committee will accept my apology and be assured of my commitment to university rules and regulations. Yours sincerely, Mohammed Sherbash. Okay. So, good grammar, good vocabulary, good organization, no problems. Let's talk about now task achievement. Did you apologize? Yes, you did. Did you identify yourself? Most certainly you did. Did you give an explanation and talk about evidence? Yes, of course. Let's look at this one. Possible resolutions to consider. Did you do that? Well, oops, wait. There it is. You gave one resolution, and that's a problem. You have to be really, really very cautious in task 1. With these words here, when it's plural, if it says possible solutions, discuss details, anytime it says give problems and solutions, I don't know, anything, you have to be very, very careful with these words because that means that you have to not offer one resolution, but multiple resolutions. Therefore, they will mark you down for offering only one resolution, okay? So, this is a good example of how really, really carefully you have to pay attention to the prompt and what you're being asked to answer. It was written very well. I have no problems. Any little things that were an issue I already mentioned. It wasn't too serious, but this I can assure you will cost you some points in your task achievement, okay? So be careful of that and try to avoid it in your future letters. Let's take a look now at this essay. Food. To what extent do you agree with the idea that it would be better for the environment and economy if people only ate the local food produced by farmers? This is another example of what I'm talking about. You're not supposed to talk only about the environment, but also about the economy because there's that and there. So let's see how well you did here. Experts throughout both the developing and the developed world have debated about the ecological and economic implications of importing food. Some believe that it is advantageous for any country to produce their own food to preserve the environment and to strengthen the local trade. And personally, I strongly agree. The society will argue that local food production is more advantageous than importing food, using examples from the UK government and Oxford University to demonstrate points and support arguments. Lovely. Okay. On the one hand, there is ample evidence that perishable food transportation by planes has a detrimental effect on the atmosphere. The central reason behind this is twofold. Twofold is one word and there's no plural. Firstly, the emission of CO2, air vapor, and other gases by aircrafts, which condense more quickly when they are released from the hot engines into the cold atmosphere. It's not a full sentence. Okay, you need a verb here. So firstly, there is the emission of this, and this. which condense, etc., etc. These trails of frozen water trap the heat on Earth and contribute to global warming. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government revealed that the aviation industry, contributes to no less than 40% of the incessant elevation in the Earth's average temperature. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that transported food via air poses a serious threat to the delicately balanced ecosystem of our planet. Okay, you really tread a very slippery slope here. You're supposed to talk about how local farming is better for the environment. What you did instead is you talked about why imported food is bad for the environment. It kind of works. It kind of works, but just because you talk about why the opposite is bad, it doesn't necessarily answer why the topic in question is good. Does that make sense? So you have to be careful here. They didn't ask you to talk about why importing food is bad. Like I said, it kind of works. But in general, it would have been more appropriate for you to analyze this, why it's better for the environment to buy local food. And one of the things that you could have said is that one of the main benefits of buying local is that food does not have to travel long distances, like, for example, via plane. It is clear that this and this and this and this and this are caused by aircraft. So this is avoided with local food. So bring it back to how local food doesn't add to this problem. Do you understand? I mean, what you wrote is okay, but like I said, it's a little dangerous. And so you have to bring it back to the element that the task has asked you to talk about. Okay, let's move on. Secondly, multinational food trade would create a loop of people running out of business and eventually losing people losing their jobs or declaring bankruptcy. This is due to the fact that local farmers will not be able to compete with a large international market and may stop producing food altogether. To illustrate, an extensive study by Oxford University showed a 30% recession. Decrease, perhaps. I don't know about the word recession here. I'm really not sure. In the local market due to international food trade solely. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that if this continues to happen, the local market will be substantially affected to a greater extent. Okay, it's fine. Oh, another paragraph? Interesting. On the other hand, although there is a case for cheaper prices of imported goods, where did you say that? Hold on. Okay, I have to disagree with this. I mean, when you do this, although there is a case for blah, 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 it should be like a rephrasing of something you've already mentioned, and then it provides a link to something different you're going to say. But you haven't talked about cheaper prices for imported goods. You may have implicitly said something about it, but certainly, I mean, it would require some sort of mental leap on the part of the reader. So I would not have written this here, okay? So on the other hand, although there is a case, what did you say? For, let's see. You said they would be, you never told me why they would be unable to compete. That's another thing. Local farmers will not be able to compete with the large international markets. You never told me why. Why are these more competitive, and why do they push out local farmers? So that's probably something you should have extended as well, and then you could have done this. So if you had done that here, if you had extended this and explained a little bit more, then maybe this sentence would have made more sense here. Okay? Okay, let's see. This is largely because price reduction cannot outweigh the harmful impact on population health. As a result, the availability of a wide range of food at a reasonable price would be of minor importance without the A when compared to the preceding negative consequences. I wouldn't even have written another paragraph here. I felt like you did a sufficient job with these two paragraphs. As you know from the template, we pretty much advocate a 4-paragraph structure with 2 body paragraphs, so I don't see a need for a 3rd body paragraph. You should try to incorporate any ideas that a 3rd paragraph might develop in your other paragraphs, okay? So I don't really see the value of this. I really don't. I wouldn't have added another paragraph. All right, so from the examples and arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that countries should promote and encourage national food industries. It is predicted that international food trade will increasingly grow in importance in the coming years. Okay, interesting. You're saying that they should encourage national, but in the end you say that you predict international will grow. It seems a little strange. Maybe it could have been a little more. I mean, okay, fine. If that's what you think, that's what you think. Fine. So a lot of really well-written sentences here. A good job overall. Yeah, there were some issues throughout, like with that additional paragraph and with this kind of dangerous way you developed your paragraph. I want you to think about what I said. Like I said, you argued the opposite side of what you were supposed to argue. And so, like I said, implicitly it deals with the question, but to be safe, you should really deal with it explicitly instead. Okay? So go ahead now and correct these essays, return them back to us, add to your error correction list, and of course, write another set. Okay? I'm waiting to see them. So good luck with your next writing assignment.